Hi, this is Matt with Plating Pixels, home of cost-conscious comfort food. And in this video, we're going to make Instant Pot shredded chicken. This is an incredible simple recipe that works great as a base for a wide variety of other recipes such as chicken enchiladas, quesadillas, burritos, salads, sandwiches, pretty much anything. This is also the base recipe for my shredded chicken food haul. This recipe uses basic, simple, affordable ingredients. We're starting with about 4 or 5 pounds of chicken. That's going to give you plenty of leftovers to store in the fridge. You can freeze some for easy leftovers. Besides the chicken, we're going to need water. That will help keep the chicken nice, moist, and tender. And it's also required to create steam and pressure inside the Instant Pot. And for seasoning, we're just using very basic salt, pepper, and garlic powder. We want to keep this a neutral base. Those are going to add plenty of flavor, and the chicken will be great as a topping or ingredient as part of other recipes. And if you're watching this and you don't have an Instant Pot, I have a link to one I like in the description below. But you can also use a slow cooker. All the steps are exactly the same. Instead of just 10 minutes in the Instant Pot, you'd want to cook it for about 4 hours on high or 8 hours on low. The first step is to add water to the Instant Pot. It'll be about 1 cup. If you're doing more chicken, let's say over 6 pounds, you'd want to add maybe another half a cup of water. And this goes directly in the pot. No trivet or tray needed. I'm just using water. But if you want to use chicken stock, that's a great way to add extra flavor to this dish. You actually want the chicken to be sitting in the liquid. This will help ensure it's moist, help it cook more evenly. The next step is to place the chicken breasts directly in the pot. It's going to create steam and pressure that's going to evenly cook everything inside of there. You can even stack and overlap them. Now once you have about a solid layer, we want to make sure we put our seasonings on to cover it. We're starting with salt, then pepper, and garlic powder. I like to do a somewhat generous coating of each of these, but do this to taste. If you're on a low sodium diet or prefer it seasoned a certain way, this is where you can make the recipe your own. And don't worry about seasoning the underside of the chicken. It's sitting in the water. We have seasoning on top. It's all gonna get mixed together anyways once it's cooked. Now that the chicken's seasoned, it's ready to cook. So we'll put the lid on the Instant Pot. Make sure you lock it in place, and also make sure that the steam valve up top is sealed as well. For this recipe, all you need is 10 minutes in the Instant Pot for juicy, fork tender shredded chicken. Another time-saving tip for this recipe is you don't have to defrost your chicken. If you like to buy it in bulk, keep it in the freezer, you can throw it straight in the Instant Pot, season it, and then you want to add about 5 extra minutes of cooking time on high, so that'll be a total of 15 minutes. It's been 10 minutes, the chicken is ready. Besides the timer, another way I can tell these are done is it smells incredible. It reminds me of homemade chicken soup. This next step is critical for moist, juicy, shredded chicken. Be sure to not open up the steam release. Let it sit for another 10 to 15 minutes to naturally and slowly release. If you open up the valve right away, it's going to release all the steam at once. The next step is to shred the chicken. I like to transfer it to a large pan, a dish, or a bowl. And we'll use 2 forks, or you can use a meat shredder to shred the chicken. Now watch how easy this is, and watch how juicy and fork tender this chicken is in just 10 minutes of cooking time. Repeat this for the remaining chicken breast. This entire batch of chicken has been shredded. It took me maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Very quick and easy. There's a lot of liquid left over inside the Instant Pot from cooking. You want to ladle some of that back into your chicken. This is going to add moisture, liquid, and by adding the water back and mixing the chicken, it's going to evenly season and flavor the rest of the batch. Then use tongs to give it a good stir. And that's it. Our Instant Pot shredded chicken is ready. Since we made a larger batch, this stores great for leftovers. You can store some of it in the fridge for 3 to 4 days, and the rest of it seal in smaller individual portions in an airtight container or Ziploc bag. And these will store in the freezer about 2 to 3 months and still retain the ideal texture. I'll also be sharing more recipe videos as part of this haul, and we'll use this base shredded chicken to make other recipes. If you like this quick and easy weeknight meal that works great for batch cooking, leftovers, meal prep, be sure to like and subscribe below to get all of my upcoming recipes.